반짝이는 눈빛 눈이 부셔 매일 날 감싸주는 손길.
At the crossroads of decision, Jin Na-young entered the study with a nervous heart as soon as she received Han Jin-tae's call. In the quiet atmosphere, the sounds of Jin Na-young's footsteps echoed unusually loudly, and in front of her stood Han Jin-tae with a cold expression. His gaze foreshadowed that he was about to say something important. Jin Na-young swallowed her breath as the study door closed and looked at Jin-tae. Han Jin-tae slowly stared at Jin Na-young and then opened his mouth. Jin Na-young, it's time for us to sort out everything we've been leading together. I can no longer bear the risk. His voice was filled with coldness and Jin Na-young tensed inwardly, anticipating what he was about to say. Promise Yun-sung to give him the shares of Haedeul Foundation that he has been longing for. But I have something I must do. Live with Yun-sung. Keep all the secrets and live quietly. Jin Na-young was surprised by his words. She didn't expect Han Jin-tae to demand such an extreme choice. However, he went further and said, if any more of our secrets are revealed, it will all end. If I want to get through all this safely, I have to live with Yun-sung. Then you and the child will be safe too. Jin Na-young couldn't speak for a moment. Han Jin-tae's proposal was tempting, but maintaining her relationship with Yun-sung was just as important to her. There was a moment of silence, and Jin Na-young lowered her head, contemplating whether to accept his proposal. On the other hand, Yun-sung, alone in a hotel room, stared blankly out the window. He held two plane tickets in his hand. One was his and the other had Jin Na-young's name on it. Yun-sung pondered for a long time. He thought the relationship had already fallen apart, but the existence of the child made it difficult for him to give up easily. Yun-sung took a deep breath and composed himself. Think only of the child, only the child, he murmured quietly. His expression was no longer the confused and conflicted one. In that moment, he made a firm decision to start anew with Jin Na-young and to escape from all the conflicts. He left the hotel room and went to meet Jin Na-young with determined steps. There was no more wavering in his eyes. He had a strong determination to walk a new path with her this time. Yun-sung went to find Jin Na-young. Jin Na-young, still confused after her conversation with Han Jin-tae, came out of the study contemplating whether to do as he said or make a different choice. That's when Yun-sung appeared in front of her. Jin Na-young was momentarily surprised but soon maintained her composure and looked at him. Mr. Yun-sung, Jin Na-young said in an anxious voice. Yun-sung calmly looked at her and took a step closer. He looked at Jin Na-young for a while in silence and then finally opened his mouth as if he had made up his mind. Jin Na-young, let's leave the country. Let's start anew. Jin Na-young was shocked by his words and widened her eyes. She expected Yun-sung to inform her of their breakup, but she never expected him to suggest living together. Unlike Han Jin-tae, Yun-sung was giving her one last chance. We've been through a lot, but we have to think of the child. Let's sort everything out and start again for the two of us and for the child. Yun-sung's voice was filled with conviction. He had already made up his mind and confidently reached out his hand to her. Jin Na-young hesitated whether to take his hand or not. On one hand, she had the desire to be with him again, but on the other hand, the conflict with Han Jin-tae made her mind complicated. However, feeling sincerity in Yun-sung's gaze, Jin Na-young ultimately took his hand. A new beginning. However, Han Jin-tae smiled alone in the study. Even if Jin Na-young held Yun-sung's hand and left, he knew that peace would not last for her. Han Jin-tae began to plot a bigger conspiracy using the last card he held, the shares of Haedeul Foundation. This was the expected plot summary for episode 108. Thank you all for watching. 'Cause you are beautiful.